What kind of intro do you want me to do for
There's nothing.
Look, mechanics are hard.
It's just math.
Like,
there's nothing we can do. Let's just do the f***ing content and then
Let's
move
go.
on. F***ing waste my time. Piece of shit.
So aggressive!
Hi everybody, welcome to GameGorgon. My name is Krug.
I'm Indigo.
Today we're here to talk to you about archetypes in Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
Oh yeah.
That was the end of the sentence. I don't know why I let it trail off as though I was going to keep going. That's what we're going to do. Let's do it now.
Archetypes are a very, very interesting mechanic. It's going to kind of change up how archetypes have worked in the past. So let's kind of understand where it came from, and we'll go towards where it's going to be going. Right now, the most popular role-playing game is Dungeons & Dragons. Archetypes exist in Dungeons & Dragons, but are usually chosen at a specific level. So for example, druids choose what circle that they follow, and the based off of the choice that they make depends on what new skills and abilities that they gain for the rest of the game. Pathfinder, the first edition, how archetypes worked is that it was usually kind of like a variant of the class that you chose. For example, one of my favorite classes, the alchemists, normally they create a potion called a mutagen, which makes them super strong. You can choose a specific archetype that instead of making a mutagen, it will change it to make it a cognigen. So instead of gaining strength stats,
Gain intelligence.
you gain intelligence stats. Exactly. It was kind of a choice that you made very early on in the game, and it replaced abilities. So it kind of just made it a different themed alchemist.
Sure.
Now with archetypes in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, it's going to basically be a feat tree. So every class...
God, whoever's editing this, please put a picture of a tree with a bunch of feet on it.
Every other level, every class gets a feat, right?
Yes.
It gets a class feat specifically. Now, with the archetype options, it will basically be a feat tree that you can go down that has a very specific theme.
The first feat that you take from an archetypes tree is called the dedication feat.
Yes.
And that's going to give you some basic flavor from that tree. As you get further and further into that archetype, you get stronger and stronger feats with that flavor. The interesting thing about dedication feats is that you can't take multiple dedication feats one after the other.
Correct.
In order to move on to a different tree and take a different dedication feat, you have to advance a specific distance into the tree that you're already in. For example, the pirate tree, the dedication feat has a piece of text in it that says you cannot take another dedication feat until you've taken 2 feats from this tree. So that's kind of limiting in a sense that you can't just be like, I'm part pirate, I'm part, alchemist, whatever the thing, and then I'm also part this other thing,
Within 4 levels of each other.
Yeah, exactly. You can do that, but it's going to take you a hot minute.
And they're not limiting you to only taking one archetype, which
Right.
I do like.
Which is good.
Because I think it allows you to play very different characters. For example, you have to take 2 feats before taking another dedication feat for pirates, but they have a pool of 6 to choose from.
Right.
And so if you have a very specific direction you want to take your character, but you're like, oh, I really want the ability to swing on ropes because that's the type of character that I want to play.
Yeah, or it fits the campaign really well, we're all on the ocean the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be super useful.
All of those are very, very helpful. What's also beneficial is that you can always go back to those pools. Once you've entered the dedication phase, you can always go back.
Yeah, those feats are always available for you to pick regardless of whether or not you start another archetype.
Yes, you still have to meet
What's up with these long pauses this episode?
You still have to meet the prerequisites
Correct.
for them, because each one of them do have their own prerequisites.
Yeah, and some of the dedication feats have some pretty intense prerequisites. Like the Grey Maiden dedication feat, you have to have 16 strength, you have to have expertise in a specific saving throw, I can't remember which one off the top of my head, and then you also have to be a member of the Grey Maidens, which is like a faction in the game.
Pirate is an archetype, and this is a prestige archetype.
Right, that's true.
This is supposed to be something that is for later on in the game, and it's kind of replacing prestige classes, which in Pathfinder was basically a new class that you would take once you met those prerequisites to start them. Now you're going to continually progress through whatever class that you want. So you can multi-class all you want, but this prestige archetype is something that kind of layers on top of that.
Yeah, and I do understand that it is later in the game and it is supposed to be prestige and so the requirements, but the faction presence I think is kind of a turnoff for me because that kind of is shoehorning the campaign to have a specific faction in it or modifying the feat so that you can get it without the faction just by DM's will, or not having the feat in the game.
Yeah.
Which, like, all three of those options are just kind of like meh to me.
Well, and this is kind of the one that they've decided to show off because I think it is one that's very powerful. They haven't explained whether, like, how joining the Grey Maidens
Yeah, that's
work.
true.
I mean, look, that could be like a standard part of the book.
Or it could be a feat that you take.
Yeah.
You are now a member of the Grey Maidens.
Yeah.
Da-na-na-na. Here are your like benefits.
Yeah, exactly. Like
You can summon a Grey Maiden to help you in battle. Like, it could just be completely divorced from the lore, unless the DM, puts some lore in there. But it could still have mechanics that work outside of lore,
Yeah, there's a lot that can be added to it.
Maybe.
This is basically what they've shown us. I love this idea. I love the idea of changing how archetypes work and changing how prestige classes work. I think this is just giving, and the thing that we love the most about D&D and role-playing as a whole is the amount of choices that you have.
Yeah.
And this is just continuously taking on additional options, additional things. Like, because no, really, like even with the pirate prestige, or even with the pirate archetype, you don't have to be a specific class.
That's true.
You
can be a pirate wizard.
Yeah, you can be a pirate wizard. You can be a pirate wizard, alchemist. Swashbuckler. There's so many different options that you can do that.
Yeah.
And you can multi-class as well and still be that pirate archetype. And I don't think that the archetype feats are so weak that they get rid of, like, the use of normal class feats.
Sure. Yeah.
I think they're kind of even.
Yeah.
Like, for why you would take one over the other.
Yeah, it's not like options that are combat mechanics or options, at least from what we've seen. We have two, right? One prestige and one regular one, and I'm mostly focusing on the regular archetype because I think they're going to be the ones that people access more than the prestige ones. It seems a lot more utility driven, which I'm super into. Like, I like being able to pick things that are out of combat useful, or things that make my character a little bit more like unique or diverse. And I think that's what this is going to provide us moving forward. There's probably going to be like a soldier option that gives you like, you can do damage more, but that's going to be boring, almost guaranteed.
I don't know. We'll find out. Why don't you guys head down in the comments and let us know what prestige classes or prestige archetypes or archetypes that you want to see from Pathfinder. While you guys are down there, make sure to hit the like button for the video and make sure to hit subscribe so that you can get, subscribed and get all of our content.
And then after you subscribe, you should do the prestige option for subscribing and hit the bell icon, which gives you a +5 to your wisdom save and an additional 40,000 gold a day.
And weirdly enough, the prerequisites are only to hit the subscribe
button.
button.
One very simple prerequisite. You can do it at level 1. You can actually do it at level 0.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And then why don't you guys also head over to Twitter and talk to us about what prestige class that you're planning on taking.
Aside from the notification.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
And you can do that by hitting me up at IndigoQT.
You can reach me at QueueTimes on Twitter. You can also reach both of us at _QueueTimes on Twitter, or at QueueTimes on Instagram.
Until next time, see ya.
We've been GameGorgon. It's the thing that Indigo always forgets to say at the end of every episode.
That was your job!